There is no doubt that when people talk about Sasuke Aizen, they usually see him as the mastermind behind Ichigo's path and the evolution of his powers. He viewed Ichigo as an experiment worth studying and observing. Aizen is also known as one of the most manipulative characters, and while he often used Kyuka's Wigetsu to deceive others, we mustn't forget, guys, his ability to manipulate through words. Aizen can twist facts, lie, or withhold the truth to manipulate others and achieve his goals. However, some tend to overlook the fact that Urahara Kisuke shares these traits as well. Urahara is one of the most mysterious characters in the story, never revealing the truth or the full truth. Even those closest to him can't fully understand what he's thinking or what his true intentions are. And one event that clearly demonstrated this was his meeting with Isshin after the latter regained his Shinigami powers after 20 years. Isshin shared incorrect information about the Visoreds, and yet Urahara didn't correct him. In fact, it was evident that Urahara Kisuke never informed Isshin about the truth regarding the Visoreds in his connection to them. I mean, from Isshin's perspective, all he knew about Urahara was that he was banished from the Soul Society. That's why, guys, I want to talk about these events again on the light on Kubo's answer. Yes, this is an old answer of Kubo, but for me I still see it unclear. It needs further discussion, especially in terms of how Urahara Kisuke saw Ichigo Kurosaki. But before we start, guys, I need your reaction. Don't forget to support this video by your likes and comments to increase its reach so other fans can watch it, and as big thanks to the ones who support Simu, either the memberships of my channel or on Patreon. Thank you guys so much. So the fans' question, guys, refer to the scene where Isshin spoke about the Visoreds and their ideology. It was clear that Urahara, as we said, never told him the true origins of the Visoreds or how they gained their hollow powers. The question was, why did Urahara hide this information? Did he truly not know what the Visoreds were planning at the time? Kubo's answer was as follows. He said that Urahara believed there would be great benefits for Ichigo's control over his hollow powers if he didn't tell Isshin the truth. And as you can see, Kubo's answer was somewhat vague, at least for me. However, let's first analyze what Isshin actually said, because I see it important. So Isshin described the Visoreds as a group of lawless gang of Shinigamis who sought hollow powers through forbidden ways, and their location and ideology were unknown. And this could suggest that Isshin's knowledge came from the official records released after what happened to the Visored and Urahara Kisuke. After all, Century 46 didn't consider the Visoreds as criminals who sought hollow powers. Instead, they charged Urahara Kisuke of conducting experiments on them and turning them into hollows. So after Irichi helped Urahara and the Visoreds to escape to the human world, it's possible that the Soul Society officially labeled the Visoreds as outlaws who acquired hollow powers illegally. And this actually aligns with Isshin's perspective during his time as a Goshi 13 captain, especially since we also saw in his flashback that Aizen Sasuke was still searching for the Visoreds and had no knowledge of their whereabouts, and this supports Isshin's understanding of the situation at the time. However, what's strange for me, guys, is that when Isshin first met Urahara Kisuke in the human world, Isshin subtly hinted that he was the one who saved the Visoreds. In this scene, we can see Urahara told Isshin in Ryokan that he had rescued a group of Shinigamis who had undergone holification. If Isshin had thought about it more, he might have realized that Urahara Kisuke was referring to the captains and the vice captains who had vanished from the Soul Society before he became a captain. But aside from that, the real question is, what did Kubo mean when he said that Urahara Kisuke saw a benefit in not telling Isshin the truth for Ichigo's hollow control? First of all, guys, I want to point out that Urahara keeping the truth from Isshin might not have been a bad thing. Urahara fully understood Ichigo's nature, the reality of the Visoreds, and perhaps even Isshin's personality. He might have predicted what Isshin would do if he discovered or knew the truth, which could have disrupted Ichigo's development. For example, when Urahara Kisuke trained Ichigo for the first time, he could have told him outright that his father was a Shinigami or that the mask he saw was due to the hollow that had passed from his Quincy mother. However, some truths cannot be revealed all at once. They must be discovered by the individual at the right time. That's why I believe that if Isshin had known the full truth, especially that Urahara Kizuki was the one who found a solution for the Visored's holification, he might have asked Urahara Kizuki to personally intervene and find a way to suppress Ichigo's hollow, and that could have prevented Ichigo from training with the Visored and mastering his hollow powers to the fullest. And they later developed their own methods for using and controlling their masks. And I think these were things Ichigo needed at that stage of his development. They provided him with a training that allowed him to fight White and discover a new form of power based on using the mask. And this might have been the reason why Urahara Kizuki didn't tell him or didn't tell Isshin the truth. And as I told you guys, Urahara had similar moments like this. Like when he didn't tell Rinji the truth about why Rukia was chosen to have the Hogyuko placed inside her, or when he didn't inform Yurichi, the person closest to him, about the real reason he created the Hogyuko in the first place. And this was honestly one of the most surprising things for me when I read the last parts of the novel. How Yurichi, despite being the closest person to him, seemed unaware of what Urahara was truly thinking. Even more than that, one of Kubo's recent answers revealed that maybe Aizen Soseki is the person who understands Urahara Kizuki the most and knows what he's truly capable of. When Kubo said that Aizen Soseki knew Urahara even before he met Yurichi. And this might explain why Aizen saw Urahara Kizuki as someone who had surpassed his own intelligence, simply because he truly knew who Urahara is. In this sense, I can say that everything Urahara Kizuki did in training Ichigo, how he helped him in many ways, plus how Aizen Soseki prepared the enemies Ichigo would face to help him to grow stronger. All of these factors combined allowed Ichigo to reach his incredible level of power that we saw in the end of the Arankara arc, with the Dangai and Mugitsu level. So guys, what do you think about Kubo's answer? Do you have other interpretations that I didn't mention in this video? Tell me guys your opinions in the comments, and see you guys in my next video.